Hello dear chess friends, welcome to our new video. In that video I will show you a game played in 2003, a game which shocked chess world. Well, that was shocking in that moment. So young Teimour Radjabov, he was only 16 years old, relatively convincingly won the game against Garry Kasparov, who was in peak form, in 2003. And rating difference was 223 points in Kasparov's favor. So he led white pieces, and that game really shocked the whole chess world. By the way, that game, that win with black pieces helped with some future victories in that year. To Teimour Radjabov to become the first player who will beat 3 world champions in same year, and all with black pieces. Later he won games against Ponomaryov and against reigning champion Vishwanathan Anand. So that achievement was again achieved by Hikaru Nakamura in 2011. Let's see that game. Radjabov won convincingly with black pieces. Game was played in Linares, and Kasparov started with his favorite e4. After e6, as we can see, Radjabov chose the opening he likes to play so often. He is a recognized expert for a French defense, and of course, as perfectly Lubomir Vtachnik stated analyzing that game, if you want to play against Kasparov, if you want to play for a win against Kasparov, you must have enormous dose of self-confidence and bravery. So let's see what happened. d4, d5, knight c3, knight f6, one of the most complex variations in French defense, so-called Steinitz variation, e5, knight fd7, and after f4, white supports pick of pawn chain on e5. Generally, white should attack on the king side, as usually with that pawn chain on the board. Black should attack on the queen side, and black did first step in that direction with c5. Well, with c5 he wants to destroy base of white pawn chain on d4. Of course, as Steinitz stated 130 years ago, I think, it is not problem to play without base of pawn chain if you have successfully to install piece there. That principles were accepted and widely implemented by Aaron Nimzowitsch 30 years later. So he was the first who analyzed that theory in detail. Knight f3, knight c6, bishop e3, and a6. One of many possibilities. Other option may be c takes d, maybe bishop e7, queen b6. a6 is not so common because nowadays, after queen d2, b5, still it is considered that gaining space will not give black so much. But okay, game was played in 2003, and Kasparov continued with a3, which maybe is first imprecision allowed by him. Promising maybe this, knight d1, knight can go to f2 to support initiative on the king side, and white gets ready also to play c3 in some moment. Maybe bishop d3 with idea to finish development in some peaceful manner and patiently. So, but okay, all that are just possibilities and matter of style. a3, queen b6, and knight e2. With this move, Kasparov practically leaves theoretical continuations, and the close and center will contribute to distinct character of the French defense, and that's clear. But Radjabov chose not so common c4. I'm not sure about this move. I would rather not play this. Simply, such blockings are somehow always in white favor, because he's expanding on the king side with g4, f5, you know, are always connected with attacking the king. But Radjabov had idea after c4 to castle long. That's what he prepared. So other moves can be maybe rook b8 or maybe c takes d, you know, where after knight takes, black has something like, let's say, knight takes, and maybe knight c5 with idea to jump from c5 to e4 in some good moment. Okay, let's go for the game. Normally g4, and practically black is forced to play h5. That was idea of young Radjabov. If white plays g5, black will successfully block position on the king side with g6, and he will have excellent play. White won't be able to suck anything on the king side to open position in his favor, and black will go for immediate impact on the queen side with a5, b4, after bishop b7 and so on. So practically gh is forced, where after rook h5, knight g3, rook h8, white wants to prepare f5. If black plays g6 before white prepares f5, then white will play h4, h5, and still position on king side would be open in his favor. But of course, why not to play f5 immediately? Naturally, Kasparov with white pieces goes for that, showing high ambitions against lower rated and young opponent. But the point is, Kasparov did it prematurely. There was sense to play bishop e3, finishing development, or maybe h4. h4 looks really normal, with idea to play bishop h3 and to prepare that thrust with f5. Yeah, so f5, ef, very excellent move. After knight f5, there is point very well prepared by Radjabov. Here now he will not activate bishop on b7. He plays knight f6, discovered attack. If white takes, black takes on f5, and evidently black is much better. I show you variation. Black has 4 active pieces. We can count rook h8 as an active piece. After long castling, black will be so ahead in development, and white will be in big problems. White cannot castle short. If white castle long, black will attack with b4. I think white is in terrible situation right now. So after knight f6, excellent counter by Radjabov, knight g3 must be played to prevent knight e4, but Radjabov goes to g4, of course, with idea to eliminate bishop e3, which formally is bad because restricted by pawn, but that bishop can be used after bishop e7 with bishop g5 to exchange good black bishop. So by idea to take that bishop, Kasparov won't be able to eliminate black powerful bishop on f8, which will go to e7. Bishop f4 and bishop e6. Excellent blockading move, supporting base on d5 and preparing long castling. Game is balanced and everything depends on player skills, and you know, analyzing player skills, we should predict Kasparov will easily outplay his young opponent, but you'll see that is not fact. Radjabov was familiar with that positions and he continued superbly to play. Knight g5, again risky decision in Kasparov, and I must admit that's bad. Why not bishop g2 with finishing development and preparing castling? Maybe on short side, maybe on long, waiting for black decision. Probably black will go for long castling. White can continue maybe with h3, knight h6, and maybe even to castle short with unclear position. Black is out of problems here. White cannot easily attack a black king because white does not have enough space on the queen side. And same time, maybe black can try with f6 to crush position on the king side in some good moment, and to attack using open h file. So that is just a possibility. After bishop e7, knight g5, I think that's first serious mistake allowed by Kasparov, castling. Here, bishop g5 is also an option, where after this black can play knight a5, or black can strike even with f6. That would be interesting. ef, gf, bishop f4, and black can castle long now. Now black will have open e, g, and h file he will intend to use. But maybe even the best here after knight g5 was knight a5. Was the point. Now black center is stable. Knight attacks from c6 only, so stable punkts d4 and d5. So with knight a5, sorry, he will prevent white castling. Of course, that's not possible. Queen will fall. Same time threatening with knight a5 to get an exchange. White would be forced to move queen, maybe queen c2, preparing castling, but after knight b3, white won't be able to castle. Now after that, black can go for long castling, organizing, expanding on the king side, opening the position to exploit fact white still has king in the center. So after castling, knight e6 happened, bishop e2 finishing development. Position remains balanced, but now we see that Radjabov was very well prepared and ready for fight. Let's remind about Vtachik comment. Nobody was successful against Kasparov without sound portion of self-confidence and taking the risk. Knight ge5. I think that move shocked Kasparov. Looks center is so stable, and that move is really shocking. He continued with not the best. de5, by the way, would be lost for white after d4. There would be horrible attack. Black will threat d takes with knight d4. All black pieces will come to play after that. Knight d4, bishop c5, rook f8, and such dangerous attack would be unbearable. So bishop e5 should be played instead of queen e3 chose by Kasparov. Bishop e5 to eliminate dangerous knight. Now this will give black initiative after bishop c5. White cannot castle to any side because, okay, that will castling long will cost him a queen. So after bishop e3 and d4, black will have excellent chances, but still white could play bishop g4 here, and probably that would give him slightly better chances. Let's forget about potential continuations, that something hypothetically could take place in the game. After knight ge5, queen e3 was played, not precise. Knight d7, black took a pawn, goes back, and after that, now we can maybe think white achieved a lot. Bishop f4 is open, queen e6 is dangerous, but black has still some tactical solutions. He played not rook h4, he played bishop h4, sorry, threatening to occupy e file and to deliver attack on bishop e2. Queen g4, prophylactic move. Let's mention that queen d5 here would give white some advantage, because after rook d8, king d1, knight f6, queen f3 could be played, and looks like white will survive and keeping advantage. Maybe here probably here queen d6 would be even better and white will keep some advantage. Looks like some diversion by Radjabov with knight e5 and moving knight back still was not the best option, but still he played bravely and we must admit that. Queen g4 is a mistake, and after g5 we can see that Kasparov faced such crazy attack, I must admit crazy attack, completely unexpected attack. Simply Kasparov was not able to handle that attack. And now after bishop d2, rook d8, and surprisingly black has a plus. Black is better. After castling knight a5, normally knight goes to b3, and key mistake allowed by Kasparov, rook df1. After that, game is completely lost. What to play? Well, king b1 was the last normal move, where queen g6, king a2, now knight b3 may be looking dangerous, but still bishop f3 and white can hold the position. What happened in the game is terrible mistake. as we can see, Kasparov forgot about possibility queen g6. Now that check, king must protect the bishop, and bishop g3, white must take. However, white takes, okay, if h takes, queen g6 with unbearable threat of queen b1. Of course, not immediately queen g6, because white will block that diagonal with knight f5. Or maybe even better, yeah, even better, queen f5, of course, yeah. But now after bishop g3, if queen takes, there is not blockading diagonal, black wins after queen g6. If h takes, black may play queen g6, but black may also take on h1, yeah, and now queen g6, still white cannot close that diagonal, where queen will get b1 with decisive impact. So, after bishop g3, white tried with rook f7, but anyway, rook d8, protecting. Bishop g5, that gives nothing because simply queen g6 again. There is threat of mate in 2 with queen b1 and queen c1. Queen a5, but now just black eliminates some threats, exchanging. Of course, knight take using pin on the h file. Black is piece up. Kasparov tried to get some counter chances. Bishop h4, very precise. Here, pawn h4 will fall later. Black wants to eliminate dangerous bishop pair. Kasparov keeps it. Really, after bishop h4, there is nothing white can do. Black will have beautiful knight d4, crushing possibility, you know. So after bishop e3, knight d7, bishop d5, rook e8, more or less everything is clear. That does not... the rest of the game does not need serious commands. So knight dc5, excellent possibility. Tactics always was on high level in Radjabov's career. So of course d takes c will cost him a piece. Yeah. After knight c5, knight comes to desired spot on d3, and game is over. There are so many threats with knight b2 and rook e2. There is threat also of knight f2, and Kasparov decided in that moment to resign. So you can see that some brave play by Radjabov with knight ge5 and maybe some bluff helped him to achieve so remarkable victory against, I think, still the best player ever. And you know, even if you play with black pieces against such great player as Kasparov was in 2003, still you should show some dose of courage, play bravely, and you can deserve victory as Radjabov did in that game. I hope, dear chess friends, you enjoy our video. I hope you will enjoy in our future videos. That was all for that video, for that lesson, and see you soon. Bye bye.